Approached me and said, "Hey, I have a proposition for you," and asked me if I would be willing to come and teach the class once a month and talk about the more emotional, mental side of things. It would be funny. She would go through her class and she would send me an email. She'd be like, "This sounds just like you," or she'd call across and say, "Hey, Jen, I got something I think you'll like." So I was really excited for the opportunity, and just want to say thank you to you guys for being open and willing to have me come as well. For a few years, I had the opportunity to study emotional eating, 12-step programs, and totally my whole life I've been into personal development and how to better ourselves, how to overcome the demons that we seem to carry and things like that. And have had the opportunity to teach groups of women, book club style, on various principles and subjects on this kind of stuff, exercise and eating and the emotional sides of things. And so it excites me. It's kind of a big topic, and yet it's little. It feels scary. We have to be, it's a topic where you got to be vulnerable to, get the lessons and the things from it. And so I just want you to know that anything that I present tonight or that you share here stays here. This is a safe space. This is a group where you guys can support each other in whatever area as far as eating, mental, emotional, friendship. You guys are a support group here, which is one of the reasons I was excited to have Haley start this group, is because when we start into areas where we're starting to change our habits, we're like, things are just not working for me how I would like them to work. And we start making those changes. We don't always have a support group. The people outside of our immediate selves, whether they're in our family or our friends or whatever, we don't necessarily have, supportive people in our lives who are willing to just say, "Hey, all right, how are things today?" and hold us accountable, and we can check in. And so that's what I love about this type of setting, is you guys have each other. Even if you have nobody else, you have each other. And I hope that you'll use each other that way, that you'll gain that trust and confidence in one another to go, wait a minute, our journeys are the same and yet they're different and yet they're the same. And so therefore when I say I'm having a question about whatever principle or concept we're learning, or I'm having this big aha and I want to share it with somebody, that you would feel confident enough to call each other and say, "Hey teammate, I got something to share," or "I'd like a different perspective, maybe you can help me out on that." So I would encourage you to use each other that way, as sounding boards and as support systems and cheerleaders. Be each other's biggest cheerleaders. Be your own biggest cheerleader. But outside of that, support everybody else. So tonight, first of all, I just want to say, how are you feeling about class? This is the end of week 2? Or end of week 3? Week 3, okay. So I know you've talked about eat slow. And what is it, 80% full? So how are you guys feeling about those things? And feel free, really truly, feel free to share. I always learn when you guys speak.
It's hard. It takes a while, but I'm getting there.
Okay.
I'm learning to slow down and enjoy and not hurry it. Get it done. Move on.
Okay. And how does that feel?
I had one great day and I felt wonderful. And the next day, kind of,
Sure.
but you start back up again and
Sure.
go on again. But I could tell a difference when I did on that day.
Good. Those are empowering kinds of days.
Yeah.
And so it's learning how to put empowering day upon downslide, come back to empowering day, until we build. Just learning all of that.
Yeah.
That is one thing that I like about Precision Nutrition. I have not gone through their program in whole like Haley has. However, I have sifted through lots of things and she has presented me a lot of things about it. And I like it because they do put the emotional, mental parts into it, which is huge when we're starting to develop new habits. So how does anyone else feel about eating slow or 80% full as you're starting to make these little changes?
Just a struggle every day.
Okay.
I eat really fast at work, but when I find that I'm at home, I do it slower. I have more time, and I like it. I feel better when I eat slower.
Sure. Eating fast at work because
Just no time.
it's feeling like there's no time.
Yeah.
Do you have to eat like in between, or do you have,
We eat in between patients if we get a lunch at all.
sure. And where do you work?
At Teton Cancer Institute.
I was just saying, are you over there? Okay. I've heard a few other people
Yeah.
say that very same thing. Very cool. I was excited the other day when Jolene came to me and said that you guys were having a meeting, and she said, slow down.
Mm-hmm.
You have a half hour to eat your lunch. Use it. So that's cool. And I've heard lots of people over there say, it's kind
We
of how it
don't-
is here a little bit.
She may get a half hour because she's downstairs.
Yeah.
But I'm a medical assistant,
Yeah,
and
you're like-
we don't usually get a lunch
Sure.
at all because it's dictated by the doctors, and the doctors are always running over by lunchtime, and you're just hoping you get out of there quick enough.
Yeah.
But when I'm at home, I notice a big difference, and I've noticed more my lunch times when I do eat. I'm overeating, and it's making I get that heavy lethargic feeling at work. So like the second half of work, I'm like, oh, dying. And so I've been more aware of that. I'm trying to cut back. how
That's
much
a
I'm
great observation. Are you
stuffing
writing
down in
things
2
like
seconds.
that down?
I've been trying to keep my log with the daily, like how fast we're eating.
Good.
So
That's a really great observation. You go, wait a second. I just did this, and this is how I feel, and it's not working for me.
right.
So it's not until we recognize what's going on that we can actually change this. Beautiful. Congratulations. Yeah. How about you, Jaylene?
I think the thing that amazed me the most is the emotion. It's been emotional.
Yeah.
I've just learned things about myself just by sitting there and slowing down and taking a moment that I probably didn't want to face.
Sure.
It's so weird. It's powerful.
Sure.
It's almost
hear it.
frightening to me.
Absolutely. Okay. I totally validate that for you. That I sense you. Yeah. Feel free. We have them on hand. Feel free to use them. It's when we take this and we continue to stuff it that we then create the issue. So feel free to just let it flow. You're in a safe space. Again, we'll hold that space for you, for all of you, so that, because this is an emotional journey. It's not just about food, and it's not just about changing habits. It's about looking at who we have always believed that we are, and what we've created meaning around our food, and meaning around our situations, and meaning around the people, and how that then relates to us. So we're like looking at ourselves going, oh my gosh, I've meant this to be about me all this time, and if I change this, then who am I, and what am I going to be, and that's scary, and how are people going to accept me? And so I thank you for sharing that. That's
I do have a question. How do you know you're 80% full? I mean,
You guys
how
wanna ask
how
me?
do you know? I mean, do you just go by, I'm eating 80% on my plate? But how does that translate to full?
I stop before I get full.
Okay.
Like I'm always thinking I could still eat some more. And
Okay.
I've learned to just I'm done. And the first few times it was really hard because I thought, well, if I don't get to eat, now I'm gonna starve to death. You know?
Yes.
But now it's like I feel great. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I know that I'm not full, but I feel so much better. You know, I know I could
Mm-hmm.
eat a little bit more, or probably a lot more if I kept eating. But
So-
I'm
That's
so
almost
hungry
what
when
I did
stop.
on my very good day. I just fixed a
I
little.
love that. On my very good day.
I thought it was almost, and I asked Haley when I came to the class, I almost kind of keep myself still a little bit hungry, but not, I have to have something else, but enough that I'm not overstuffing, because I have a problem with that. I just, but then right after I get done, why did you do this? Why did you do this? You
We go
should
back
have.
into bam, 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 bam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you should have done this, and you know better than that, but you do it.
Well, and the philosophy is to clean up your plate and you prepare it, and then there just happens to be extra, and you don't want to I really don't like leftovers, or I mean, it is a weird thing.
Yeah.
Well, and that plays into all those things that we've been taught since we were little kids. A lot of this stuff we picked up as little kids from people who